Before anything else, something needs to be said clearly. This is not a video about motivation. It is not about happiness. It is not about turning your life around. This is about something far more uncomfortable and far more real. This is about how the desire to live can quietly erode, and how, if it ever returns, it does so slowly, unevenly, without fireworks. Nothing here is instant. Nothing here is magical. Nothing here pretends reality is kinder than it is. What follows is not a solution. It is a map. A map through 4 layers of existence that shape human suffering in the modern world. The microsystem, the mesosystem, the exosystem, the chronosystem. These are not abstract concepts. They are the invisible architecture of your exhaustion. Wanting to live again does not mean fixing everything. It means learning how to move through these layers without being crushed by all of them at once. So we start where you already are, not where you should be, not where you wish you were, but here. Everything can feel overwhelming, but not in dramatic waves. It's worse than that. It's constant, a low-grade pressure that never leaves your body. You wake up already tired. You move through the day on obligation alone. You do what you can. You fail where you can't. And you go to sleep with the quiet certainty that something is deeply wrong. Not one event, not one trauma. The whole structure. There is an important confusion that almost no one knows how to name. You don't want to die, but you don't want to keep living like this. That middle state is one of the loneliest psychological places a person can inhabit. Because the world only recognizes 2 categories. Either you're fine or you're in danger. But there is a vast, unacknowledged territory between them, a place where life loses its color, its legitimacy, its reason to continue. In that territory, you still function. You work. You answer messages. You smile when required. But none of it is fully inhabited. You are present without being alive, watching your own existence from a distance. The desire is not to end everything. It's to stop holding the weight of being conscious, to stop deciding, explaining, justifying. Disappearing feels easier than continuing, not because you are weak, but because existence has demanded more meaning than it offers in return. Still, something brought you here. Curiosity, silent desperation, or the uneasy suspicion that another way of being might exist, even if you cannot see it. So the real question is not, how do I become happy? That question is premature and often cruel. The real question is this: how does someone who has lost the desire to live slowly, imperfectly, begin to want to stay? The central idea is simple to say and brutal to practice. You must learn to distinguish what is under your control from what is not, and accept that difference without turning it into self-hatred. Most human suffering comes from confusing these 2 realms. We exhaust ourselves trying to control what cannot be controlled, and we neglect what is still within reach. This confusion is not accidental. It is taught. We are raised to believe that everything depends on mindset, effort, positivity, resilience. When that fails, the blame collapses inward. But before talking about meaning, purpose, or narratives, we must start from the correct place. Not with society, not with the world, but with your immediate reality. Level 1. The microsystem, where you exist right now. This is the most intimate level and the most ignored. Your immediate psychological environment, your body, your nervous system, your room, the people you interact with daily. If you do not feel even minimally safe here, the idea of a future becomes almost impossible. Wanting to live again begins with something far less poetic, being able to exist without constant internal threat. Safety does not mean happiness. It does not mean peace. It means the temporary absence of attack. Not being at war with your own thoughts every waking hour. Not living under uninterrupted internal interrogation. Many people get stuck here because they expect dramatic change. But the microsystem responds to small, consistent gestures. Regular sleep, even if imperfect, reducing aggressive stimuli, creating islands of silence. These things sound trivial until you realize how destabilizing constant sensory assault actually is. Small connections matter more than they appear. A brief conversation, a shared walk, a short phone call, even listening to someone speak honestly about pain. These moments do one essential thing. They remind you that your inner suffering has somewhere to land. Pain that has no witness does not dissolve. It radicalizes. The endless internal dialogue, shame, trauma, despair, cannot circulate in a closed system forever without becoming poisonous. Externalizing does not solve everything, but it gives pain shape. Speaking, writing, naming. Few experiences are as stabilizing as having your pain received calmly, without urgency to fix it, without judgment. When your inner world gains representation outside your mind, something shifts. Not because the problem is gone, but because you are no longer alone inside it. This is where the desire to live begins to flicker back, when your immediate world becomes slightly safer and slightly more connected. Level 2. The mesosystem, where life collides with itself. Once the ground stops shaking constantly, you can look outward. This level is where the parts of your life intersect and conflict. Work, relationships, routine, values, expectations. Everything feels tangled here. Changing one thing destabilizes another. But research into human well-being consistently points to 3 basic psychological needs: autonomy, belonging, competence. These are not luxuries. They are psychological equivalents of food and shelter. Autonomy is the feeling that your actions are not purely obedience or reaction, that there is some internal agreement with how you are living. Belonging is the sense that you are not an alien in the world, that some bonds are real, even if few. Competence is the feeling that you can still act effectively somewhere, that you are not entirely useless. When these 3 are chronically denied, life stops feeling like something to live. It becomes something to endure. Here comes a specific pain, realizing that much of your life was not chosen, only accepted through inertia. Seeing this too late often generates deep resentment. So the task here is not to change everything at once. It is to perform an honest diagnosis. Where are you aligned with yourself? Where are you betraying yourself just to survive? Where do you feel trapped, invisible, incapable? The answers hurt, but they are better than a shapeless suffering with no identifiable source. Naming where life drains you instead of sustaining you is a critical step toward wanting to remain in it. Level 3. The exosystem. What was never your fault. Now something must be said plainly. Not everything that damaged you was your responsibility. Entire systems shape your life without your consent. Institutions, economic structures, cultural values, technology. We live inside frameworks that isolate, alienate, and dehumanize by default. Psychological needs are rarely prioritized. Emotional neglect, broken education, precarious labor, social media distortion, the collapse of community, political instability, environmental anxiety. None of this is your fault. Acknowledging this is not victimhood, it is realism. But realism does not mean resignation. The remaining question is quieter and harder. Within these constraints, what is still yours to choose? Level 4. The chronosystem, time, memory, and identity. This final layer is time itself. Your biography, your internal story. The desire to live is deeply connected to how you locate yourself in that story. Do you feel finished or suspended? For the exhausted mind, the future feels sealed, as if no chapters remain. This is called narrative closure. And here lies the most fragile truth of all. You did not choose everything that happened to you, but you can choose how you relate to it. Freedom is not erasing the past. It is deciding what to do with what remains. Life becomes more authentic when you reclaim some authorship over your story. Not to control it completely, but to tend to it. Your suffering emerges from multiple layers at once, from the state of your room to the structure of the world. That is why any promise of a total solution will fail. I don't know what you can change. Only you can discover that. But at every level, there are real opportunities for meaning, to care, to create, to connect, to resist. The path never appears whole. That is normal. You don't need the entire map, only the next step, then another. Wanting to live again is not a grand decision. It is a slow, imperfect, often contradictory process. And it begins exactly here, by distinguishing what you can change from what you must accept, and choosing, despite everything, to remain. There's something quietly meaningful about the fact that you're still here, watching this, listening until the end. In a world built to distract, to numb, to rush past depth, your attention is not a small thing. It's presence. It's time. And time is the rarest currency anyone can give. This channel exists for people who think too much, feel too deeply, and often carry more weight than they show. It exists for those who don't need easy answers, but honest ones. If these videos have ever made you feel a little less alone, a little more understood, then something real is already happening between us. If you feel called to go a bit further, becoming a channel member is a way to step closer. Membership isn't about status, it's about belonging. It helps keep this space independent, slow, and uncompromised. It allows deeper content, more silence where silence matters, and more courage to say what most places won't. And if, in a quiet moment, you choose to use super thanks, know this. It's not just support, it's a gesture of reciprocity, a way of saying, this mattered to me. That kind of exchange keeps work like this alive. But hear this clearly and honestly. If all you do is watch, reflect, and return for the next video, you're already helping more than you know. Sharing a video, letting it reach someone who might need it, even just staying present until the last second. None of that is small. This channel grows not through algorithms alone, but through people who recognize themselves in these words. If you're one of them, thank you for being here. And if you choose to stay a little closer, this space is open to you.